So we should probably talk about something, right?
Oh, yeah, we probably should talk about something. Wait.
Is this stream buffering, or is it just
It's
AT&T being dookie?
Definitely 18.
Yeah, it's.
It's. Did you tell the story to people about the Best Buy?
No.
I think the Best Buy.
That's a good start.
I think the Best Buy still is.
Okay, so we go in Best Buy the night before we leave, right? And I need a laptop because I didn't have anything that I needed. I needed to upload and download, obviously. And so I go in Best Buy and I'm kind of looking at MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros. So whenever I go in there, it's kind of awkward when you go in Best Buy anyway, because you don't know, they're always short staffed sometimes the way things are. Yes, and so this guy walks up and I'm like, is there a big difference between the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro? He looks right at me and he goes, oh yeah. And I just kind of pause. Debbie's standing behind me and it's just this awkward thing, and she's poking me the whole time, so I'm kind of starting to laugh. And he goes, oh yes. So I was like, okay, so is there a memory difference between the two? He was like, that one's a lot larger. this one obviously is better. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with the MacBook Air. I'm good with that. So he kind of stares at me like I'm an idiot, goes and gets it, brings it to me. Whenever he brings it to me, he goes, do you need AppleCare with it? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. He goes, okay. And I'm like, all right. And I'm just trying, at that point, you're just let's just check it out.
The DC Karen's coming out.
Yeah. So I'm not wanting to go to his manager quite yet, but I'm eyeing the store. I'm trying to find out where the manager is. And so then he's like, do you need any accessories? And I'm like, no, we need no. He's like, USB, mini flash, mini SD card? And I'm like, where's the register? Take me to the register now.
I don't think MacBook Airs have the USB port.
No, he wanted I guess the extension, the adapter, and I was like, we're good. At that point, I'm just like, we're good. I'm fine. I'm okay. Because you're just like, and it was miserable. The worst. This guy just walked up, treated me like I was an idiot, which I'm used to because I've been with y'all for days. But not only that, it was just okay.
You should put a Yelp review up. Best Buy. 3.5 stars.
Playing devil's advocate in that guy's defense, when I worked at AT&T and people would come in and ask about Android phones, I just have to bullshit stuff because I don't know anything about it. What are specs of this Samsung, whatever?
But is there a big difference? And all I was wanting was, I was going to tell him kind of what I was doing with it, and I just hadn't looked up the specs on Apple's website, so I just kind of wanted to know if there was that much of a difference. He was like, oh yeah, there's a big difference. I was like, do you care to tell me, or are we just gonna?
They don't have that cool little thing next to the laptop that shows you all the specs like the Apple Store.
Just had two, and I was like, do you have any in stock? And so he gets his, the little thing, the tablet that they have. He gets out and he's like, it looks like we've got the MacBook Air, we've got the silver, and then we've got the darker silver. And I was like, you got two? You have two laptops inside? I'm kind of squeezed here anyway, but just give me that one. And then I just got reamed over not wanting the accessories, which
dummy.
And even I got the register guy was like, you sure you don't want AppleCare? And I was like, what do you think? I'm not going to walk out the door and be like, oops, when I get out. What do people do with laptops? I didn't know.
It's kind of like what the Braves are doing with Freddie Freeman's contract.
No. Yikes.
And I think that's why I drank one last month or so. That's because I realized it's...
About a computer?
No, about Freddie Freeman.
He's won the World Series celebrated for a week and it's, Freddie's gone.
And it wasn't that, it was the fact that they had the parade. Everybody in the parade gets on the microphone and they're like, hey man, it's cool to win a World Series. I'm gonna need y'all to re-sign Freddie though. And then we get to the stadium and everybody Matic and everybody's like, yeah, appreciate y'all coming out, but I'm gonna need management to re-sign Freddie. And then nobody makes a move after that.
No one said a word.
Nothing.
Yeah, like you said, it was kind of a bad sign that they didn't get it done pre-lockout.
Yeah.
Especially since there's a reason.
It would have been different, I think, if Freddie would have been asking some astronomical 200 mil plus, 6-7 years or some wild number, but I thought he just wanted market value, and it was for 6
Well,
years.
They don't even talk to Boris.
No.
So, you know how they are. Just put your head down. That boy's gone to LA.
Because it's the same. You can. There's always outliers in the playoffs. Because if you were to take any bet, it would have been obviously nobody thought Atlanta was going to run it and win it. But then nobody, if I would have went back to every baseball fan, no matter the team, in the middle of June and been like, hey, Will Smith's going to go through the whole playoffs and not give up the earned run.
Braves fans would have laughed at
And
it.
everybody would have been like, and what is that, like plus 1,500, or you give me plus 2,000, like what, you know? So yeah, I'm dealing with the same management that had faith, and it worked out, but there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of luck involved with all that.
At that level, there's a lot of luck. But
Everything, but
everybody's so good.
So yeah, what happened with all the? We should talk about the blitzball stuff today. All that we went through.
Chat's still talking about you needing a phone book on your chair.
Yeah, it's tough in these streets.
I'm wondering if he takes them to his feet whenever he drives, though. Like if he needs the extra distance,
Okay.
or if like the pedals that they used to have, the wooden pedals, and you just strap them to your foot. That way you can.
Wow.
Oh my.
Disrespect.
How you feeling, Frisk?
I've been up since 4 a.m.
And you got backlash.
Yeah. But really I'm good. I'm actually wheel spinning, trying to think of ideas. Like, for example, I would love to hear like everybody's like content creation story, like what got you to start. I'm trying to think about what to ask you.
We make YouTube videos and
I know,
shit.
I know, but I got other questions for you.
Just sports questions.
So, and then also like, why baseball? When did you first love baseball? Those are things I'm thinking about. I'm curious. What you guys have?
You see.
Who wants to go first? Start it off. You're at the end.
We just said that this guy's in a separate category. We're saving the best for last.
I'm
about
lucky,
you,
like
first?
chosen.
When did you get started making your own
Ask a
content?
question, and I gotta say.
I would love to hear from everybody. Oh, okay, never mind.
Sure, I'll start it though. I think in, you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but you've heard of Jackass?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jackass videos were like upper echelon, like elite tier, when I was growing up, and I was like, man, you mean to tell me these dudes just do whatever they want, they make these videos, and like, this is their life. And I think that was like the first moment for me. It was like a light bulb on like, you don't have to follow a traditional path. There is a different way to get to where you want to get. And I started to think more about creativity other than like other types of like schooling, like math and science. Not necessarily let's do that, but I started to think more about creativity. And of course, like when you're young, like you copycat. Like me and my friends, like we're like, yeah, we're gonna go do that. We're gonna go stupid stuff. We're gonna push each other in shopping carts.
Who hasn't done that?
Yeah.
At some point.
So we did all that. Then we started making snowboarding videos because I'm from Washington. We started making like skits and music videos and like all this different stuff. We just really tried everything. And I think that I never really stopped since then. Like, I think that was probably high school for me. And lifelong dedication to creativity. I never want to stop doing it.
Stories like that make me wish I started sooner.
Yeah.
Every time it makes me wish I
100%.
started sooner. Because I was, even when I started, I was hesitant. I was working 2 jobs, just doing it for fun on the weekends. And eventually I was making more off the hobby than it was my normal job, and that's why I committed. Your roots are just full-on passion.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
your mind is insane.
And it's
No,
funny you said that too. I never really thought about how OG Jackass is in like the vlog scene.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were vlogging.
Yeah,
They were.
they were like
They were
the
vloggers.
pioneers for vloggers. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who's up?
TJ. Do
All right.
like, I mean, at
So-
least provide us with something.
What does that mean?
Well, you didn't do it at the plate today.
Anybody
I apologize for the inconvenience.
Did anybody get it today?
Hey, the last,
Yeah,
our last game I did.
Zero.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Zero.
You got some kids.
Yeah, today was rough.
The Givens thing doesn't count.
Yeah, it's true, but it's still gonna hit there.
Oh, are we in the bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to send.
Won a game off vlogs for no reason.
So
We got to the game. We got to the goal bracket.
Without
Yep. 6 seed.
without a hit.
6
Yeah.
Seed of 12.
Yeah,
No
that's
way.
insane.
Without getting
What time are we
9 a.m.
14 walks, I think is what we had.
So
We got
who
to
are
play
playing?
14. Swisher again.
Oh.
That's it. We did.
But
Will lost first game.
it's the second game. lefty. Here's the thing though, so his arm's not feeling good.
We got
And I started radaring him, and he dropped from like mid 80s to like low 70s.
Oh.
Okay, we gotta throw.
So we got shot.
Yeah, we need just a couple
Shot.
swings to connect. That's all I need. We're close. Those foul balls
I want
when
to
they
swing
end up
more
foul.
and just strike out more. So
Yeah,
I was being a little passive today. So
it's all good. I mean, you approach the game, you gotta approach the game.
It's tough because you think something's like
Well, that's
way
the thing, yeah, I
outside.
would say it's not
breaks
a good
in.
strike.
here's nice.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm up there swinging like a baseball player, and it goes.
Yeah.
Especially, it doesn't help that you're jumping straight into the deep end with some of these guys
Yeah.
today. Just throw gas. They play
First time playing baseball.
Nobody can.
92 mile an hour
Yeah.
two seams.
All right, back on topic.
Nice.
Yeah, back to you.
So kind of how we got going. That's what you're talking about. So way back when, and I was kind of telling him this earlier today. I always enjoyed Shelfie's videos in particular with MLB The Show. So one Christmas,
Fans. Try to create.
I believe it was my freshman year of junior college. My mom was like, "What do you want for Christmas? What do you want?" And I showed her that, and I was like, "I want to do this. This looks sick. I play MLB The Show. I love Diamond Dynasty. I want to do this." So she got me a capture card, got me a cruddy webcam, all the stuff that I needed to put out a product, and I made like 5 or 6 horrendous YouTube videos during MLB 17. And then I dropped it because I was still playing college baseball. And then after I got out of school, got a real job and everything, I was like a casual top 50 player, I guess. I would get top 50s just for fun.
Just
for fun. You don't casual.
Nice.
You have no right
I-
to nine, 12
She
years.
sweated
your
ass
ass
off.
off.
In all honesty, no, to be fair though, back in 19, I felt like it was easy. I was just playing ranked and I was winning and getting there. But as I started to get 1, 2, 3 top 50s, I was like, I got that old capture card from 3-4 years ago that I haven't used. I wonder if I tried on Twitch instead of YouTube, people would watch. And I did, and I would just spam my titles, top 50 player. So I started, my first stream was September of 2019. So that towards the end of the game cycle, MLB 19, I started streaming. And my second stream ever, I was fully Mickey Mouse. I lucked out. Dimmu raided me. I didn't even know what a raid was. I was streaming off my PS4, it shows the viewers in the top right.
Start ticking.
Yeah, it just went up to 200, 300. I was like, what the hell is going on? And it was a raid. So I immediately got affiliated. And I was lucky enough to obviously immediately start making, money on Twitch. And then, after a while, I'd been working at AT&T. The money I was making on Twitch started to become more than what my job was at AT&T, so I was like, let's go all in on this. And the rest is history. Just grateful enough that, it worked out, and yeah.
So on, I have to ask this.
Mhm.
So, so Shelf, were you streaming on Twitch yet in 19?
19 was my first year when I switched
Got it.
from YouTube to Twitch.
Not the same with Cougs, right? I think at that time it was mostly
We were all streaming Fortnite on YouTube. at 18.
yeah. Man, just thinking about the life cycle of MLB The Show too is crazy to me because 16 is when me and Shelfie got to meet and everyone else when it was felt like there was no scene.
I was talking about EA Play earlier. That was a game changer. I was even telling them.
Yeah.
I saw someone's revenue sheet that weekend, and that's when I was like, "Oh, there's crazy money here. I should really lock in." And meeting everybody and having that experience and learning what the avenue was about. That's when I was just like, "All right."
Well, I'm a rookie in this game compared to y'all. I think I might be the most recent one here to start making content. And even back in late MLB 19 when I started, 30, 40 viewers was a lot. I felt in the directory,
So why they ask where'd you get JUCO?
Just a small junior college in Colorado, Northeastern Junior College.
That's exactly how I describe Salem Community College. When people ask, just a small JUCO in Jersey.
Yeah. It's not an Iowa Western. It's not a Central Arizona. You haven't heard of this JUCO, I promise you.
That sucks.
You're gonna think I'm ass.
walk up off me.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, Iowa Western is the real deal.
Yeah.
They're legit. Yeah, they're legit.
It'll walk off me. So I Western. So I play.
They're
Dom Thompson Williams actually
disgusting.
plays for the Mariners. Was a dude that'll walk up off there. So it's my claim to fame.
JUCOs are either like, guys that don't go to 4 years because like they want to get drafted after a year or two,
Maybe.
or just shitty JUCOs. There's no in between.
I haven't got my grade.
Yeah, or people that can't make grades.
Like I said, he was only throwing like 86, 87 high school, so it don't count.
That's good.
He switched to a 2-seam in the minors. That's where the V-leg.
Yeah, I was gonna say he also has a ton of movement on that too.
Crazy movement. He was a 4-seam guy all the way up until like sophomore year of college. And he switched to a 2-seam and added like 6 miles an hour.
That's unreal.
So I think is a good one to transition to right after DJ, Red, in terms of the origin story. I think that's a perfect segue.
The origin story, like it's a villain.
The origin story.
How did you turn?
Yeah. So.
Are you from Arlington?
Yeah, born and raised, me and aunts. big Ranger fans. But no, so I got into content. So I played baseball in college, and my college roommate, he's like, dude, like, you're better than like most people. Like when you play, like I was always like beating people and stuff. So like, it'd be cool if you got into Twitch and stuff, like take a look at it and whatnot. And so I started showing my PS4, and literally I didn't know I was even streaming. I didn't know that people were in my chat. I just had it going on, and like I just kind of started doing it. And then Emily Show 17, I started going 12-0 and stuff, and like I started getting a little bit of exposure from that. And then in 18, I did quite a bit of stuff too, and then around like 19 or so, I kind of took it way more seriously. I made a schedule, did all this stuff too. And I was working at a bank at that time, I was doing these home loans and all this stuff, and I didn't like my job. But I knew I loved content, so I would sit there, every night thinking about, what I could do for content, and, not thinking about my job and whatnot. But then this past year, so about almost a year ago, I decided to do it full time, and really probably shouldn't have done that, to be honest with you guys. I mean, it's worked out in the sense that, I've been able to do it now since then, but I was making minimal money on Twitch, wasn't making any money on YouTube. It was literally like, I hated my job so much, and I loved doing content that I was like, I have to do this. I have to give it a shot. And then
All right, chat. Type a 1 if you could see and hear us clearly.
They know
Okay.
what one is.
They showed it.
Top of
One, boys and girls.
Oh no, I was just communicating that I was back
No,
here. Okay,
We're getting
stop
ones.
there you go. We're getting ones.
We're getting ones.
They're scared. They're here.
He gave us. Oh, we got a two.
You guys know it.
Is that
Number
big?
one.
I think I'm pretty probably done with mine. People.
Oh, he's like,
Well, I don't.
lights off. Me, please.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yo, this kid, we can just turn this into a scam.
Oh no.
Do I need to get a stool to prove I'm not sure? Like, what do I need to do?
I thought you
You just
stand up.
Yeah,
No,
just
that's not gonna help because you guys are still on stools. Like I said, it's not gonna help if you're still on stools.
at least honestly, at least you're a height, so they wouldn't even know.
When he stood up and I was
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not gonna give me any justice. And listen, raise low. Hey, stand on the ground.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Yes.
Stand on the ground.
What do you mean?
Stand on the ground.
What are you talking about?
We're ground.
Scam. Let's talk about
Oh,
you.
God.
Content creator.
Yeah.
Started.
That looks so funny.
So it all started when I found out I was too short to do anything. Behind my legs forever. That's how it all started. It's a long, interesting story. I guess you could call it interesting, but back when I was someone that I guess kind of grew up in watching content a bit. Like I was in middle school. If you guys know your OG video game YouTubers, guy like Vanoss and that whole crew of dudes that would just play games like that. I'd watch dudes like that all the time, and I was like, that's so cool how people do this. And I was in high school, and as time had gone on, I was like, hey, what if I just made a YouTube channel? And if you guys know anyone that has been around my channel knows there's an old iconic cringy video of me I was trying to post gameplay stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna post a video asking everyone what game they want me to play, and I could pull it up somewhere. It's the cringiest video ever because I'm chubby 13-year-old Stan, hey, what do you want to see me play? And I'm in my kid bedroom, and I was
find this.
Yeah, we gotta find it.
We're gonna find it.
Just fire up his regular streams.
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa. So back then I was trying to do YouTube and stuff like those type of guys, and I was I thought it was cool, but I was super inconsistent. I get 2 views, and I was like, why am I doing this? So I eventually stopped, and then my senior year after I graduated, when I got accepted to school, I only got accepted in the spring semester, so I started a semester later. So I was around home doing things before school started, and I was playing PUBG with my cousin a good bit. And this is right when guys like Dr. Disrespect and those guys were blowing up H1Z1 and all of that. And I was like, I'm gonna try to stream because I have a capture card from when I tried to do the YouTube, and I tried to stream and I was really bad at it. But I did a couple streams on YouTube. Eventually moved over to Twitch, and I did it here and there, nothing much out of it, only streaming. One day when I was in school, I started college, I hated the schoolwork so much. I was like, I'm just gonna stream in my free time. I didn't talk to anyone at school. I'm gonna stream, maybe my friends hang out in there, and started playing Fortnite. And I told myself, I'm gonna try to stream every day for a year. Back when I was starting, because I thought back then, I was like, oh, if I just stream, I'm gonna grow. I didn't really grow much, but I streamed for a year. Eventually, I got to affiliate after a year and a half, and I was like, I enjoy streaming, and I found out I really enjoyed it. And eventually, I was kind of getting into MLB The Show. I got a PlayStation to get into it, and I was like, let me stream this game. I don't think anyone watches it. And I think the second time, hey, back then I had no idea it existed. And I think 2 streams in, get a raid from Eddie DeMille. And he had
What a guy.
Yeah, what a guy. And he had 100 people in there, and me being I never gotten raided, never interacted with anyone really on Twitch much. And I was like, people watch this game? This is a thing? And then I started to watch him and Scuffy. I would lurk in their chats and watch their streams. One day I started to stream MLB The Show myself. Kept at it for a while, and then I had started to do a little bit of YouTube the last year or so and kind of growing it. And last year, right as I was in grad school to do teaching because I didn't like the first thing I did, I had a bad situation with the student teacher I was with. She was an a-hole. I would have had to go to school longer because I had a situation. It was I failed it because she handled my situation bad.
Stan stood up straight.
I don't get angry.
She was an a-hole.
I don't get angry about what's in life. I get angry at that. But it was all a good thing because I was like, I'm not going to do this. And I had my channel had grown. I was like, what if I put...
Yeah, we got to circle back to
what
that.
happened?
Yeah.
Well, basically, I was student teaching with another student teacher who also was named Justin. That's my first name, Justin, in case you don't know. And he was from the area. He was older, and she liked him. And she was looking for a teacher to fill in as a job. When you do student teaching, you're supposed to just be there to teach someone how to teach. She was looking for a replacement. Liked him. I was just the college kid, the young college kid who was out there teaching for the first time. She didn't like me, and my school didn't listen to me at all. They're like, you're gonna need to do that again if you wanna. And I was like, I'm good. You know what? I was gonna be a YouTuber. I'll show you, man. Screw you. But actually, I was. But actually, I was like, you know what? I think this is time. If I put enough time and effort into it, I think I could really make it a full-time thing. And ever since the last about year, it's gotten to this point, and it's been it's the right decision. And it all led up to that point. And it was something I always liked, and I had the opportunity to go for it. And I did.
That is hellacious perseverance.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a question for you then, because you and I both, when we first started the big raid, did you just not even know how to act?
Yeah.
Because I was.
The thing I did.
I was literally
I
You are
have
not an
people
a-hole.
watching. I have a lot of clips saved on my PC from the old stuff. So I have the clip of me reacting. I was like, wait, oh my god, Daddy TV coming with the raid? Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's so nice. Cool. I just see follower, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, hello everyone. I never had more than 5 people in my
Let me
chat.
scandalize these followers coming into
And it was one of those things I was like over time, like it all worked out. Like
Big,
What you're
big
talking
50,
about?
69, I think you would follow.
it all takes like when you're that raid and you realize like there's interest in something that maybe you didn't know of before. I know like you, TJ, that was the same thing. Like you streamed it, but I don't think you knew how many people were interested in it. Because like MLB The Show wasn't always mainstream really much. Like many guys came into this watching people and all that, and you found out by watching YouTube and all that. But it felt like for a while I had no idea like people made consistent content in MLB The Show.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the basic that.
Yeah.
It like if you're on the outside, it felt like I never knew it existed. I maybe only ran into like a few like maybe Road to the Show videos and stuff. And that was it. And then eventually I started to see Diamond Dynasty stuff and like all of the stuff of the game. I'm like, there's this many people who care about this? And I was like, I'm going all in this game. Like this game, I love baseball. I love the game. And I like met everyone through all this. And like, it's incredible how much they're like, I bet you could challenge you guys watching this. You could find someone who does some niche of the game that you might not even know that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Tons of people, yeah.
A ton of it.
That's what
we're just starting to get like the next wave of MLB creators too, because now that the scene's been built and there's so many people, there's going to be people that you found it. There's going to be people that are how you were watching the other guys in middle school that are watching us.
Yeah.
And they're eventually going to get into it, but they already know that it exists.
And that's what it was like for like me too. And I forgot to mention, like I used to watch you. Like it's surreal, like being with you guys.
So
Like,
like I have my own duty biscuit.
Yes. No, it really is though. It's like it's crazy for me that it's come like full circle like that. Like I don't know about you. It's just like
Who gave him the name Doodle Biscuit?
His dad.
yeah, his dad.
Yeah.
Shockingly, his dad.
it's working for me.
We told him he's stuck with it forever. He can't change it. He's gonna be 25, 30, dicing people.
I would put that all over every piece.
He has an actual
everything
good
I got.
swing. Like,
No, I said that too. It's
actually
actually
It's legit.
don't change much of that. You're the best player. You're the best player.
That's nasty.
Yep. So with all your guys' stories and like what you said, right? Like, it's just I realized how important it is to lift up who's up next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's what you guys did that too. Like I reached out to like you guys too, and like Coos and Fuzzy and like those guys. And they were even when I was like I'm still nobody, but like when I was a real no one and I had to 5 people to stream, like you guys would help out and stuff. I thought that was always cool.
I still
Everybody
remember,
in
I still
MLB 's great
remember
with
your first stream when you basically left your job, knowing how you feel, but like so many people showed up to shower you with love. And it's like, at one day you're gonna have the same opportunity to do that to somebody else.
Yeah.
Take that lead. And you just gotta show up for those moments.
And it's a two-way thing too. It's not just about showing love. Like there's a little bit of selfishness to it because like I want you guys to succeed because at the end game that just grows the confusion.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's not just a hey dude, here's a raid. Look at all these people I'm bringing to your stream.
Yeah.
Like we genuinely need you guys to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Who's next?
I think we need to.
You want to go with me?
How that? I told like half my story in response to first, but
When did I get started? It was somewhere back in the 80s, I think. I got started actually in Madden. I started playing. Well, what I did is I kept up with a lot of different both games, Madden and MLB, and this was in 2018. And I'm the kind of person that whenever I want to do something, I try to prep it as well as I can. You know, I don't. And this is no disrespect to anybody that does it. You'll see a lot of people that want to stream, and it's like, let's just do it as fast as possible. Let's just go out as fast as possible. And I just wanted to prep, and like it sounds stupid, but I went into it like I need my name Like I need platforms set up, even though I'm not going to use them. And I went through all this, I guess, thinking that like I was going to hit the button to be Dr. Disrespect. I don't know, but like everybody's going to want Instagram handles and shit and do those big things. But so I got everything prepped, and I actually had everything set up. This is funny. I had everything set up I was going to stream everything when I started because I was kind of watching Tim and I was watching Shelfie and I was watching Coos and I was kind of trying to get ideas because my thing was I knew everybody knows when they get into it like what they can bring to the table, right? Everybody does, and I knew that I could not bring superior gameplay to the table, okay? And I did stand up a little bit in college. And I was like, I can obviously come up with a quip on the shoot. So if somebody says something in chat or something, I feel like I can do it. And so I was like, I'm going to play every game. So like leading up to it, I had 2 PCs and I was like, I'm going to stream PUBG and all this stuff. And then right before I went live or decided to stream, I shrunk it down and I have clips like you do. It was Fortnite because I was simply and even though I played Madden for years and even borderline at that time comp, I was literally so scared to stream that game that I just couldn't do it. I was like, I just can't. There's something about it, and I was like, I can just play Fortnite. I was like, I like playing it. At the time, it was season 2, so just completely that was the explosion. And so,
before I got bad.
Yeah. And so I started streaming it for about a month, and then I was like, I'm just gonna have to this is miserable to me. Like, I want to play the game I want to play, and so I started playing Madden. And that same year, leading up to MLB 19, I jumped into MLB 19, streamed it for a little while, and then jumped back out of Madden. And again, we're not comparing anything here, but I felt more at home with the content that I was making in MLB. I like both sports equally. I think we're all diehard sports fans anyway.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I love this game more. And so when it came back around to 21, I was like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I really want to play MLB. I just have more fun playing it. And I'm to the point, and y'all would probably agree, and anybody that's watching that's thinking about doing it, you will make better content doing things that you enjoy more than forcing yourself to do something. Like if you play a game, you're like, I make pretty good content, but God, it just kills me to boot this game up. Stop. Don't do it. I did it for years, and it's so mentally miserable to do it. And I would rather do it to less viewers and everything, and enjoy what I'm doing live.
It's almost impossible to hide too.
It is.
No matter what your personality is, people can tell you're not having
Yeah.
fun.
And at the time, I wasn't across all platforms. I was just strictly on Twitch, and it, like you said, it shows, but it's a delayed showing. Like, you'll go live, and then after about 2 hours, you'll find yourself, a year before, it's like, God, we were streaming 7 or 8 hours, and you'll get 2 hours in, and it's like, when can we clock out? Like, when can we hit this button? Like, I've got to get out of here. Like, I just got to. This is miserable to me. And so that's when I shifted to MLB and just started doing stuff that I like a lot better. I just enjoy the game. I enjoy the community better, but that's not measuring which community or any community that's better. It's just whatever you like more, and I tell people that all the time. But then this past year is in 21 is where I made a real big effort to try to be across all platforms. And I'd seen a lot of your tweets too, just no matter what you do, you need to be everywhere.
Yeah.
You need to be everywhere. And that's when I was like, we need to try to, spread out more, and then got to the end of it. It's kind of weird. I started on Twitch, but I feel, and the content might not be as good, but damn, I love making a YouTube video. Mm-hmm. I do, man. I don't know what it is. I've had people be like, what was the thing? And I'm like,
It's a creation.
It's
art.
It's different.
It's because it's weird. You're talking into the camera the same way, but it's just such a different angle that you're taking. Like you can, when you do something, whether you're streaming or you're making a YouTube video, you can internally tell when that drive kicks in, when you're pumped, because you can tell it when you watch the video back.
In here now, chat.
I would
Don't type one if you see us.
Infinite wisdom.
It is.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
I mean, not to make this a sob story,
Yeah, we're getting there.
I'll show you a little bit about my life. So, my mother's black and my father's white, and I grew up in an area where I didn't belong.
Yeah.
Which with, white kids or black kids. Black kids wasn't black enough. White kids, I was just different. And so, I kind of felt like on my own for a very long time. And then sports, like, completely changed that. I went from like grade school, junior high to being like this like outcast, quiet, introvert kid to being like number one running back on the football team, like every sport, like my freshman year, and then people threw that bias out the window, and I was like, oh, hey, Chris, how's it going? People that like, you know, yeah. And so, but throughout that time period, like I realized that, like kind of being on the outside, people gatekeep everything because they don't. It's like when they have a little bit of like kernel of knowledge or opportunity, they don't want others to have it.
Yeah.
And I felt
The
that.
envy of how you might take it around with it.
Yeah. So like I made a commitment to myself. I was like, I know how that feels, and if the best thing that I could do is everything I hear, learn, and know, and make sure everybody knows it, and like I'm gonna do that. And so I've been doing it for.
You deliver, sir.
Yeah.
You did.
It's mostly a perspective thing.
Yeah.
I've been breaking up with this guy every couple months for years. He'll say something to me that I already knew, but how he
Just
said it
Yeah.
completely wakes
No,
you up.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And that's like the whole pie thing that you mentioned that I think a lot of people take the wrong way, and we have trouble adjusting because this is even though I've been doing it for a couple of years, y'all two have been doing it for several years. We're all dealing with a thing that is still in its early infancy.
Yep.
You know, we're gonna be 60, and we're gonna be like, damn, like we were kind of in there, like that was awesome, you know. And so everybody gets hooked on real world stuff when you're at a real job. There's certain stuff to take, but nobody realizes that in content creation in a digital era that there's the pie is infinite.
I'm sorry.
What is
Chad. Exactly. Chad. Oh.
He said,
Read like 3 up.
he said, what is Caden's act besides him being faded?
They've been accusing me of drinking vodka too.
Yeah,
I keep going about
This is
water.
water. We put this out there to get your attention, Chad. I want you to know that.
I think they do. I think everybody, because not enough people realize that digitally the pie is infinite. And everybody wants to relate it to real world stuff where the pie is not infinite. It's not. If you're in a job, you're battling sales or whatever you're battling, but this is infinite. It's literally infinite. And everybody wants to like you said, gatekeeping. You don't have to. Just do your own thing. There are infinite number of highways you can take. Just take one. And that's what's crazy. Like I feel like we know at this point about everything you can do, and I think it's going to be wild in 20 years to look back. And you know how kind of when you're 18 and you turn 30, you're like, I didn't know shit when I was 18.
Shit. What? I'm turning 30 in a couple months.
Well, I mean,
you're gonna literally perspective.
So you are going to look back and you go back and you're like, damn, I didn't really know, because you feel like you do know a lot, and it's just a learning thing. But I think in this era that we're in content creation in 20 years, that's the same method. We're going to look back and go, like, damn, we were a part of that, but we had no idea how big it was going to be. Like, NFTs and everything we discussed last night and everything, we had no idea. And in 20 years, it's going to be incredible at some of the things. Yeah. It's as minuscule as it is. You talked about your journey to start and everything. You still had a footprint in what will be known 20 years from now.
Yeah.
As big as it'll be, you can be like, I had a part in that. And that is something that is amazing to me. That literally is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. Chad is wild.
Chad is wild.
Do we need to prove to you guys this is water? Like.
There's
another tutorial.
Stan, just chug it.
Chug it, Stan.
You guys see that? You guys see that? Water. Purified water.
Just
Five in the stove.
Chug it. You want me to chug this?
Now they're really gonna think it's vodka.
You want me to chug this?
Top one in the chat if you will stand to chug it.
20 get to jump on it.
I always say I commend when you switched from Madden to MLB. Because you already had an audience.
Yeah,
you didn't have to do that. Yeah, and that's one thing I always like. I look back like that. I don't know. It was just.
Is it scary? Yeah, but I look back at it now, and I did it for and I guess when I hit partner and all that, you kind of reached that peak there for a little bit, and I was just, man, in 2 months of doing content in MLB, I was like, this is so much better. Everything, mentally, physically, it just doesn't wear on you near as much. And
Financially?
and again, I'm not condemning any game because I feel like Twitter likes to get into pissing contests about which is better. And I've said this, it's not about which is better, it's just which is better for you.
Which console is better?
Oh, PlayStation.
PS5.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we gotta hear
Yeah, I was
more
gonna
from
say
you
that.
more, Caden, about your baseball journey and all that. I feel like we gotta hear more about your story.
Well, that doesn't surprise me that he just said PlayStation though, because PS4 was better than Xbox.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I said the Xbox 360 is better than PS3 though.
Xbox 360 is the best console.
Yeah, I agree.
The dashboard on the Xbox 360 is beautiful.
Y'all are on. I don't know if everybody is too, but she's out there, so I'll say it where she can't hear me because if she hears me say it,
You can see us staring
I'm
at her.
gonna fire
and,
something. But she was
yeah.
also a huge part of it. You know, like when you
Yeah.
take a dive into content, when you cut that cord, man, and it's a scary damn thing to cut it. And when you cut it and go full time or whatever you're going to do, it always helps to have somebody there. And she doesn't understand half of what's going on anyway, half the time. But the fact that she was there and she was like, "Do it." Like, you know,
It's huge.
I would rather do something 300 times and fail at it than to die at old age and be like, I wish I'd done that.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather fail. At least you tried.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't strike down if you don't go clear back.
Yeah.
Like I did today.
So,
Same.
I want the baseball story.
Yeah.
I'm tired of waiting.
Baseball or
I want everything.
Okay, baseball or football?
I want to be in you. Let's
His
go.
Caleb's story.
all these, we are pausing way too much.
His stories has always been better than everybody else.
All right. Can I start like with my daddy? Blah blah blah.
Share what you want.
All right. So my dad played quarterback at the University of Tennessee. Won a national championship with them.
Legend.
Sick.
Played in the NFL for a few years. Did all the things. Played Canadian League. blah,
Your
blah.
dad's T?
Yeah.
That changes things.
But so yeah, my mom, she was actually a singer, R&B singer. She's doing her thing. My dad was actually a fan of hers. So, but then I ended up being a career ender of hers since I was born. So she stopped singing.
Surprise.
But yeah, he coached and all that stuff, and I just grew up kind of being around, different athletes like Rod Woods with the Rams, Juju, he's with the Steelers and those guys, and a bunch of guys in the NFL, just being around them, and just kind of seeing how how they go about their business when they're in college and stuff like that, and just hearing stories and all that stuff. So it kind of just helped me, figuring out what I want to do in sports. I played football and baseball. I played quarterback in football and outfield in baseball. So I just committed to Miami last year about this time to play both sports. And then I have a chance to go to the draft for baseball, so we'll see kind of how that goes.
Yeah.
The money's right there, or if I need to go to college for about 3-4 years to kind of, make my draft stock go higher. But yeah, I played baseball since I was about 7, 8. But played football basically my whole life, tackle football, all that stuff. But always kind of, had to deal with that whole being T. Martin's son.
Yeah.
And because it's crazy, I played on ESPN my sophomore year, and every time I make a play or good play, they wouldn't say my name.
Yeah.
So you're bad.
Yeah.
They put the camera on him, but not me. But yeah, just having to grow up with that kind of expectation of, your dad went to Tennessee, you got to go there, and getting hate mail when I didn't commit there and all that stuff. So
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's terrible,
it was
man.
Brutal. It was the same people that was just telling you to come to the school, the same people that's telling you you suck, and I hope
That's crazy.
hope that you never have a good career there.
Mm.
So it just shows you kind of like everybody's not in your corner, no matter how much they smile on your face and tell you good things, that you don't do something they don't like. They're gonna cut you off and try to tell you that you're the worst person in the world.
We all can relate to that in some sort.
Yeah, I feel like everybody can. I mean, you stop streaming, all your streamers gonna hate you in a sense, or not hate you, but not, you know.
It
No,
just
you're
takes
not wrong.
You
It just takes your own thing.
You're right.
You're right.
One thing we say.
Don't turn the back on
You don't say the right thing. And I feel like everybody makes mistakes. You know, everybody says, maybe I say the wrong thing, something like that. But say you guys say something bad on the stream and somebody doesn't like it, he just hates you and try to bring you down when you might have made a mistake. So, but yeah, just going through that, just growing up, not being able to do certain things that everybody else, not being able to be a normal teenager like everybody else, because you can't mess up or whatever you do is gonna be on the 9 o'clock news right in the morning. So yeah, just trying to walk the straight line and while still trying to, you know, be a teenager. It's
And have
been
fun.
tough. And just have a little fun.
Yeah.
It's been tough. But at the same time, it's been great for my career, just being able to stay focused and have a tunnel vision of trying to make sure I try to get to my end goal, in a sense, you know, being able to realize that I can have fun later on in life. But right now, just lock in and make sure that we, you know, get stuff done. But yeah, I've done some crazy things playing on ESPN and knowing that 100 million people were watching me play
That's crazy.
football. Like, it was ridiculous. I actually played Deion's son, I believe, last year, like kind of right after the pandemic and all that stuff.
They got like a camp and everything, don't like Sanders? Don't they run like?
They also just signed another big time.
Yeah, they signed another big time. That was the year before he went to college, and it was. Man, they blitzed the crap out of me. I got sacked like 7-8 times that game. It was a brutal game. It was a brutal game, but man, just being able to play those games and kind of getting that exposure, you know, playing against millions of people. I feel like I'm blessed to kind of do those things, and then also just baseball. Baseball is a damn game where you fail, but you got to wake up the next morning and act like you're the best player out there to be able to, you know, go up there and face somebody throwing 95, 96. So, you know, I think it's a great aspect of playing both baseball and football. Football kind of bring in that tough aspect of wanting to go beat somebody, and then baseball just bring that tough mentality of just having to forget things. You gotta forget and then just keep working. You know, you'd never be perfect in baseball, but that constant chase of that perfect swing, that perfect throw, throwing somebody out at third or home, I think that's what makes me wake up every day and just want to be great in those things. So, yeah, I played football and baseball, and that's my little life story.
Is there one that you like more than the other? I'm just curious.
I had a penny for how many times people ask me that.
I bet you get that a lot.
Let's be a little more specific. What feels a little sweeter?
Yeah.
Barreling up a ball or dropping one in the basket? You just can't pick. I respect it.
I say hitting a home run. Hitting a home run is
just so hard to do.
I think baseball is the hardest thing to do, skill-wise. Maybe not physical, but skill-wise, baseball is the hardest thing to do, hands down. You can't, like, what more skill-wise is harder than baseball?
But you have to be coordinated for every inch of your body to play at the level you play on.
You gotta think, everybody on the field has to be able to throw the ball somewhat good. Football, you know, you only need the quarterback to be able to throw good.
You can be a specialist.
You only need the receivers to be good at catching the ball, or you're specialized in certain aspects of those games. Baseball, everybody's got to be able to hit. Except for the pitchers, maybe.
Soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, baseball, everybody's got to be able to throw the ball good. Everybody's got to be locked in, because there's so many situations that can happen in one play that, like, and another thing too, like baseball, you got to be laser focused for a lot of games, like from playing every single day. You got to be locked in, or you're gonna get next year cut or something. They're gonna find somebody else.
What were you guys saying earlier? Major leaguers gotta learn how to play like hungover and beat up, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then especially the minor leagues, like you got an 18-hour drive.
That grind's insane.
You got an 18-hour drive.
The amount of money they make too.
Wake up, you got to go play. That's why I have so much respect for those guys. And then there's
I live with the host family. Couldn't even afford to live in my own spot.
That's crazy.
I remember Eric Hosmer had a host family when he was in single A in Delaware.
Amazing host family, they were the best. Basically had like my own basement, but still like
it's
like wild.
Even if someone put you in a mansion and said you can live with me here, it's like I'm not providing for myself.
Yeah,
you don't feel like you're making wealth. Like you know, for me, like I just got a signing bonus. I didn't get any big, and so like the thing that they don't tell you too is like making like $400, $500 take home a month, but then you have to tip out and pay all the service providers. So it's like, hey dude, here's $100 to like wash my uniform for a month, and it's like, wait a minute, this man makes a fourth of what I make to just wash my uniform. Like what? And it's like, it's not like that, but it's like, at the end of the day, like you ain't saving any money.
Yeah,
and really your signing
Oh, it's
bonus
bad.
is-
It's bad.
Well, one thing I think they're doing better with is they're all the guys that's not first round and like second round. They're paying for your apartments and stuff like that, your home space. So I think that's a step in the right direction and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, a lot of respect to those guys. They gotta play in every day and focus and trying to get to the next level while in conditions that aren't the best, really. So
Yeah, it's perseverance for sure.
The only reason I said that is, we both went to school at Auburn. And so I went to, ironically, in 97, Auburn played Tennessee in the SEC Championship game. Peyton Manning beat us right at the end. And so we were crying leaving because I'm like, 12. So I'm leaving, we're all upset. And I'll never forget it because my dad goes, well, look, we ain't got to worry about it. Peyton graduating, so we ain't got to worry about it. Guess who came right after Peyton Manning? Right there.
Yeah.
It was just, I'll just never forget it because we were leaving and it was like, he wasn't known as the sheriff then, Peyton was still really good in college. It was like, thank God we didn't have to deal with him. Yep, then comes 2 more years getting our ass kicked.
Yeah, they went from Todd Helton to Peyton Manning to T.
Mm-hmm.
that was
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Good run.
And then what? Philip Fulmer, right? Was their coach?
He was there then.
Yeah, probably 2-3 years.
It's crazy how mature you are. I think that's
No,
I was talking, I was
outside.
thinking you're in the 1%.
No, dude. I
17.
I wish that I was as well spoken
Can you
as.
imagine?
I was here even I was
you are now.
17 on the freaking
Yeah, I was
playing video
gonna
game.
ask
It's
you.
been
Yeah.
a lot of
I
standing in front of my dad, and he
I
asked me
just think it's gonna-
these questions, and I have to recite it in front of him. So it's all
Yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
like. And then just people asking me questions. I think another thing too is like my freshman sophomore year, having a good or bad game and knowing that I gotta answer like 3 or 4, reporters and stuff. So I think that too, just getting that repetition of those reporters asking me questions and having to know like what to say, what not to say. Don't talk bad about the next opponent, or you're gonna be on their board saying that, and they're gonna be extra motivated. So I think just doing that at a young age helped me grow in different aspects of my social media training and just knowing what to say and what not to say. So it just helped me a lot. Like I used to hate public speaking and talking in front of people, and now I just make it into a conversation instead of it being just me talking. So that's the main thing. Just practice. Just keep going.
That's what I was going to add. Like, is it tough sometimes just completely shutting out expectations to focus on what you need to do? Because I feel like sometimes that can muddy up the water on the journey, and you just have to be, you just have to block everything out. Like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and that's it.
I think the main thing was not giving credit to the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not in your shoes.
Yeah.
They're gonna have their opinions, and they're gonna be mad that you didn't do a certain thing. So, I think the main thing is doing what's right for me, and not caring what people want.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all wanted our certain player to do this or certain player to go to this team, but at the end of the day, it's them signing a certain contract that's gonna help their family and their family this, or them doing a certain thing in the game that may help them, along the lines. So I think the main thing was just not giving a crap what people think.
Do you think Freddie's going to resign?
Hey, in my opinion, I can see Freddie different before, in my opinion. But
accept the reality.
but
I can't wait till Brooks Conrad's playing first base.
no, that's everything. I think also too is just staying in the moment. Staying in the moment really helped me a lot, especially in baseball. Like not worried about another event that we got the next week or what scouts are gonna think if I strike out right here. Like it's taking me a little time of asking scouts like, what do you think when I fail? And they're like, bro, we know you're gonna fail. Like Hall of Fame is 30% in ball.
Yep.
Like pitchers are going to strike you out, and there's so much analytics now with how to strike you out. Like, and people are throwing so hard now. Like, bro,
Yeah, I couldn't. The amount of 95 you see at your age compared to when I was in school. God.
Oh my lord.
just find a way to hit the ball. That's the name of the game. Find a way to hit the ball. So I think just staying in the moment and then just trying to work so hard of that idea of being perfect in baseball, I think it's just kept me grounded. You know, you get too high in baseball guys are gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Bring you back down real quick.
You understand, like, hey. But then also understanding that being at your low, it teaches you a lot of like things in life. It teaches you like
Humility.
You gotta keep going. I mean, you get comfortable. Somebody else is working harder than you. You get comfortable. So even when I'm playing good, I keep my same routine. I hit at the same time and I work out at the same time. Because once you start hitting good and thinking like, oh, I don't need to hit no more. I don't need to warm up the same way.
I don't need BP today. I was hot yesterday.
I don't need BP today. Like, and then also too, like listening to those people that like, oh, Ronald Acuna doesn't take BP, or Shohei. You know, Shohei didn't take BP at all this whole year.
Apparently.
Apparently, but I understand that that's his routine.
Oh, yeah.
That's his routine. That's not me. I'm not like him. So I can't do that. I have to do what I need to get focused for this game and to get ready to know this pitcher. And then also too, just understanding like there's so much knowledge out there. There's so many coaches and other players that may be on your team that have experienced certain things that maybe you haven't experienced, or asking them questions so that maybe you won't have to go through the same trials and tribulations that they went through. So I think also too is just being humble enough to not stick my nose up on certain coaches or certain guys on teams and trying to understand that I'm just like them, and I'm trying to figure out this game of baseball just like them too, and just figure out questions like them. So yeah.
I feel like what you just talked about draws so many parallels, like so many other things in life.
Yeah,
But these are just like basic life lessons in
I was
general.
gonna say, it really sounds. I hate when people like scoff at it, but everybody gets knocked down. It's just how you get back up.
Yeah.
And that is across anything you do, whether it's whatever job or whatever you're doing. It's real. And I hate people like that's cliche. I'm like, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anything, dude.
This is like the saying, it's probably funny because it's true. Cliche words,
Yeah. Oh man. Whew.
Now bringing up the '97 SEC championship and shit. All I feel is pain.
Oh man.
The kids under 18 with a mentality I found at 23.
That's what I'm saying.
Some people don't find that mentality until they're like
Rounded at 23.
older.
I wish I'd have learned these lessons that he already knows back then, man. That's crazy.
And I gotta like give kudos to my parents. My dad, he went through it with being in the NFL and other people he knew throughout the industry and all that stuff. And then my mom, she went through that whole stuff of the music industry and not everybody's on your team and some people kind of mooch off you and all that stuff. So I think big kudos to my parents. They really drilled it into me when I was young, and just understanding that some people that might be in your own family don't have the best interest for you, or friends that might smile on your face but be taking money from you. You don't even know it.
I was gonna say all the experiences you talked about. That's what would give you along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think just listening to your parents and then just your elders in general was the main thing that I took pride in doing, and understanding it's like they lived in life way before I was even thought of. So that's just the main thing.
I'm just saying, with this whole dugout creative movement going on, I think we should put together a YouTube boxing event.
Oh, wow.
Mighty.
He's the first
We
fight.
can line this up if you want.
He's
No, we're really gonna. This is eventually gonna happen. Me and Mikey are gonna end up boxing in a YouTube event one day. It's gonna be a thing. This joke's gonna go on way too long. I would sign that contract. Yes.
The battle of content creators.
God, I would pay a lot of money to watch that.
We're
I'm
the
not
same
paying
age
shit.
bracket.
Did you see me swing that bat today? And you want my old ass to get in the ring?
No, I'm saying. No, I'm saying.
He's saying you'll buy the stream of me and Mikey.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I understand if it was an event with multiple
If you
tiers,
watch an event I'm in on Reddit, we're fighting.
But you know what we should do? We should talk about all this with Dugout this weekend. Like, what is all this with Dugout and all this itself? Like, I don't know if you guys know of all the stuff that is in store and that we're planning today, but like, I mean, you guys know what all this, like, how would you describe all the stuff we've been doing with Dugout so far? Like, you were to use a couple words for it.
Creative.
Wow!
Water.
Choice words.
probably surreal, I think.
Yeah.
Y'all two were used to it, so this was the first time for us to
Yeah.
meet in person.
Yeah.
And it's, at one, it is, I find it weird, like, not weird, we all are weird, but like weird that like when you meet, it's not awkward.
Yeah,
You know, you would think that it would be, you know, and you do have a little bit of anxiety when you're going to meet people for the first time. But it's kind of shocking at how kind of everybody, you're kind of like, it's just like a chat.
Yeah.
You know, everybody just kind of fits together and everybody, you know, it's that to me is really cool.
I think a lot of it has to do with like respect.
Yeah.
Like I have tons of respect for like what you guys do, and it's like you want to surround yourself with like winners.
Yeah.
And like people that you have respect for, and the funny thing is, it's like mainstream society tells you that like when you admire someone, you should just not say it. But like I believe like I'm gonna tell you I like what you do,
I'm with you.
and I'm a fan, and you know, and so that's I think that's why for me it's never really awkward. I think I even maybe take it too far sometimes too, because there are people that don't know me, and I feel like I know them through maybe one of you guys or someone else, and just pick it back up, and I don't know, but like I think like the internet weirdly removes barriers.
Yeah.
I think that's the unique thing about the MLB community too.
Yeah.
Like, it might feel like a long time, but like a couple years isn't that long. Like I remember the EA Play event, like it was yesterday, where I was going back home to my 2 jobs to upload maybe twice a week, and like spreading the love is like you guys. It's not going to be long if you keep going. You're going to completely blow up.
Is it cheesy to say that it's fun to continuously learn?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like us today,
Well, I
you
wasn't-
pay attention to everybody and what they're doing, and how they do their content and everything. And it's just awesome to like you're constantly evolving and learning, and that's kind of when you know that, like you kind of picked the right thing.
Well, I mean, like, I was thoroughly excited to pick y'all's 2 brains in particular, just because, like, you guys have been doing this, like, you know.
Y'all keep saying that, but it's only been a couple of years.
I know, but it feels like that's the thing. But it's surreal, like what you said, because we watched you.
Yeah, you guys were the like
As if
trailblazers.
you guys had no
to
idea
us
who we
for-
were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You guys truly were like the
Yeah.
trailblazers of all this
Yeah.
for us to do it.
Yeah. It's
My God!
yeah.
He made it into a high chair!
But it's still like even though it's in that the couple of year span, it's just wild to think that we're still like in that
Oh, yeah.
big bang of what we're doing.
Yeah.
What?
One thing.
Oh, they were stuck.
One thing I think about a lot too is, I think because I have like a career completely outside of content creation where, I've led teams of people in the dozens and the 20s that are different cultures, different languages across the world. Try to help grow people in their careers, whether they're a content creator or just someone working on my team. And I think the one thing that I always found myself gravitating towards is something you said, which is people who have curiosity. Like, so learning is like the artifact, but the curiosity is what leads to wanting to even learn things. And it's like, there's just something about like content creators. They're just inherently curious about everything. Like, how do I be better? How do I title? How do I make better
Yep.
thumbnails? How do I
The journey
perform
is fun.
better?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy to say this, but I mean, there are a lot of people that aren't like that.
Yeah.
They're,
Yes.
they're just not.
There are a lot of people doing it that aren't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's just it's just so fun, man. Like that like I talk about the whole journey part of it is just I hate when people will DM you and they'll ask like, should I do this certain thing or what? And you can kind of tell they're being scared. I'm like, don't, just enjoy it, because you'll get past it and you'll get a couple of years down the road and it's like, you know, this goes by really. I don't know if it does for y'all, but this shit goes by really fast.
It flies.
It gets
Yeah,
faster.
it's crazy.
When you
Yeah,
get
it
off,
does.
you're probably about, when you get families, it kicks it into another year.
Yep.
And it sucks in a way. But it's just take every moment when it comes, enjoy it. Don't be scared of the journey. Just enjoy it. You know, that's what I tell a lot of people. Because it's fun, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's stressful. I don't want everybody to think that it's not. There's stress in anything you do.
Yeah.
I mean, what I do in the bathroom here about 2 hours is gonna be pretty stressful. But it can be. But it's still fun. It's a different kind of stress, you know. It's when you've got a deadline like I talked about at a job that you don't really like. That's a stress where it's just like an eye roller. But I mean, I kind of enjoy the stress of having to put out 3 in a day so I can go do something for the weekend or whatever. Like it's kind of cool, you know. I don't know. I enjoy that part of it.
I've got a question for the group to maybe pivot the conversation to what I think is going to be interesting. But I'm curious from some of like all of us here, like what questions do we have for each other about what we do or things that you are interested in pursuit of being better? Because I think that like I don't, you guys don't know this, but for I think a year and a half. Like Shelfie, myself, and Cougs, and Kevin, and Fuzzy, and Mighty, and Jivvy, and T Barrett were like all in like one DM, and it was like constant like kumbaya all day every day of like each other asking each other of like, help me be better, or what are you finding, what are you seeing, and to me, I mean, I look back at that and I still feel like that was like one of the best things ever, because it's like, it's so lonely to be a content creator. You're trying to like do all this stuff on your own, and everyone has their own things that they're doing, and it's hard to, I mean, you gotta stream, you gotta make, you gotta post, you gotta have families, and then like, you wanna check in and see like how everybody's doing, you wanna watch and be there.
Yep.
It's like, you can't be there all the time, and so you miss stuff, and you know, so for
We were talking about that before you got here earlier.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it'd be interesting to hear from like you guys, and I could start this one. Like, what have you guys learned? Because you know, I'm obviously I don't know everything and want to continue to learn. But and so the first one I'll ask, because this is something I'll obviously raise my hand about a lot. I am a terrible streamer. Absolutely terrible. Because I mean, I want to be good at it, I want to do it, but like I'm a more introverted person, and like the thing that gets me energized is like these types of conversations.
Yeah.
Like if I streamed a podcast and had like a guest to have like this, like I feel like I'd crush that. But to like play a video game and like read a chat and like try and compete, I'm just like so bad, and it gives me anxiety. Like and so I'm curious how you guys like cope with, or like is it a specific like switch or a thing that you have that allows you to do it that I just don't have or haven't learned, or have you tried?
For me, I feel like it's kind of a switch, because I am hella introverted. When I go out in public, I overthink every conversation I have. Like I'll just have like a conversation where I'll go to the grocery store and I have like a small conversation with someone or about something basic. I'll be going back to my car like, why did I say that? And I overthink everything. It's so bad. It's like, it's always the most, like, I look at it after, like, that was the most stupid thing to worry about. But, like, I am that, like, socially anxious person.
Yeah, you start worrying about the fact you were worrying.
Yeah, and and that's one thing, like, that's the reason I started streaming, is because, like, I was so bad at that. But for some reason when I streamed, when I wasn't actually talking, like, I wasn't actually talking to a person, but I was talking to my computer screen. It helped me for some reason. I don't know what it was, like, like, obviously I know there's real people back there, but like, so there is a switch for me where it's like, I'm in stream mode, I'm talking to people, trying to like have a conversation with them, and like, I never overthink it. I don't know why it is. I don't know if it's like the nature of the conversation, but like I don't know. It's like I feel like there's like a weird switch for me.
Yeah, I switched too.
That's so
switched.
That's so fascinating because me looking into a camera or a screen, even if there's people that are typing, is like generally awkward. Like for me, like it doesn't. Like I said, I need to interact with people. Like that's why most of the stuff I record is not like focused on me because that's awkward to me. It's me behind the camera recording other people because that feels more real and natural.
Yeah.
And I think people can like feel that in the videos. Or at least
No, I feel that. The thing is, well, like I feel like the switch for me, it's almost like at points it's a double-edged sword because like it helps in the sense like for streaming and like for in a sense for just a part of it. But like sometimes with that switch, like say with YouTube videos and stuff, like I'm in that one mode all the time. And like there are points where maybe I want to be more personal, maybe I want to show more emotion because I'm passionate about it. It's like I've been working on as of late, you know, Smack Talk scan kind of coming out. I'm just trying to have
I love it.
fun.
Scandalous.
So like
Scandalous.
Scandalous. And like I would always get in that switcher, I would always be like that one thing, and I would be stuck in that thing I couldn't expand past. It's like, while I have that switch, I feel like I'm also stuck in that type of mode too that I can't get out of sometimes.
I think it was cool today to like see you like go out like and play. Like and that might sound like lame, but like it was just like I felt like you're coming out of your shell a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe you felt
this stuff has helped out a lot
Yeah.
with that. It really has. From just like interacting with more people, helping do stuff, I feel like it opens me up more, which is perfect because like it took a lot of time for that to happen. 'Cause I've always been someone always sticks to myself. I don't reach out to anyone. Anything that has happened 9% of the time is because someone else reached out to me and was like, we should do something.
That's something that I still to this day can't get over.
Yeah.
I still to this day have not reached out to anyone bigger than me.
Yeah.
If they're bigger than me, I won't do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm asking for a favor.
Yep.
I always feel like I'm being a burden to them.
Yeah.
Or something.
I'm almost like I don't want to annoy this person though.
Yeah.
Like,
And, like-
thing.
And like the thing is, I never think about it in reverse. 'Cause, like if I think something's like good idea and someone wants to do something, I'm always like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But I never act like whatever I mention to someone is going to be valuable to them. I always assume the worst. That there's be like, who cares about this scan guy?
Well, I feed off of collabs, so if y'all ever want to go here, like my if y'all are serious, I'm dead serious. If you guys are ever like trying to do a video and you need a collab person, like and my DM. I love that's y'all are literally just DMing me a video idea.
No, you guys are like talking about it like streaming. For me, it's YouTube. Like I don't know. Streaming is always just seems so natural. Hit a button, just be myself. It's fluid. Like, you know, when I get on YouTube, I'm the dude that does 10, 15 intros before I like. It just feels so scripted even still, and I'm like, I'm a huge rookie still with YouTube, but like. You know, when I'm streaming, it's just fluid and natural, and then like I just feel so robotic when I'm on YouTube, and like everything's scripted, and I'm trying to think about what I want to say. So that's like the
That's something that over time may become more.
It does.
Yeah.
That's
what I was
So
saying.
I was the same way when I first started.
Yeah.
Like I got to a point where, and honestly, a lot of YouTubers do this, and maybe you should, like writing out what they're gonna say.
yeah,
I don't like doing that because I'm a one take guy.
Yeah.
I go in, I have an idea of what's going on in my head. I really when I first started, I was just like you.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 takes. Now if I have to do a second take, I'm like upset with myself.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
it's just most of my intros are just off the top of my head. I know what I'm doing going into the video. If there's any other spicy stuff that I can make it fun,
Right.
it's usually just off the top of my head.
yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
what I've
but
heard.
that
Like
happens
over
over
time.
It
yeah,
does. You get
yeah.
more comfortable with it. I was that way. And a lot of people are that way because like you think you got to have like an overly prepared thing, and then over time you get more used to like what a good intro could be,
Right.
and it becomes just more of like it becomes more natural. Because like streaming's like that a lot of times. You know, when you first start streaming, a lot of times you sound pretty generic. You're like, hey, thanks for the follow person. So chat, how are we all doing today? What games are you playing this game right now? And like you learn those things over
Right.
time. YouTube, in a sense, is kind of in that way,
Right.
where like you kind of got to get comfortable with the landscape itself and like being more. It comes naturally the more you try to like improve on it. I feel like.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
And maybe it will.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's someone who's gonna have to do takes over a long time, but just don't let it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just-
All that matters.
The
is
power of
getting
editing.
Yeah.
Right,
Over
exactly. Yeah.
time, you
The
get
power of
better at it.
editing,
You
right.
get better at it.
Yeah, I think that's the power of editing is, I mean, because I mess up here and there, but I will hit record and just let it roll.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and there's been times where I've taken the cutting room floor stuff that I messed up or thought I was bad, and I've made videos of just those. And people
Oh,
like,
that's cool. That's cool.
And
Yeah.
so it's like, I think you just have to assume that at some point you're going to say something that is going to work,
Yeah.
and to just like roll with it. But like I started scripting early on. Like, I mean, I never did a video, or
Yeah.
I never did an intro
Uh-huh.
because I just cut it out and it was straight into, San Diego Studios just dropped the franchise mode trailer.
Yeah.
I watch these videos all
Mike
the time.
Gunn has a question for us. He said, YouTube videos, live streaming, or vlogging in public, what's more awkward?
Vlogging in public. Yeah. vlogging
Every
in public.
single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
streaming during you guys saw on the channel here. We were live there. I was streaming from behind a phone, and I felt super awkward, and like nobody was near me or anything. But I was just like, "So, Chad, how you feel about what's going on in the game?" Like,
I kept forgetting he was live, and I was just like, what is scared? Oh.
that is it for me. I mean, I don't do it ever, so I think that's a part of it.
Yeah.
That is it. I have I'm already, like you guys know from what I just said before, I'm bad with stuff in public in general. I would not be able to last forever doing
The thing that was throwing me off, though, was you had your portable hooked up to your pocket.
Yeah.
You looked like you had stuff attached to your body.
Well, Bruce Arians actually.
I
Yeah.
am the camera.
I will say, though, for me, I don't really care. Vlogging in public doesn't really bother me, but I suck at it. That's one thing I've learned.
I don't think
Yeah. I don't think
I
you.
don't
I don't think you suck at it.
I would, if there are people are asking who is one of the best at vlogging in public and vlogging in general, in the community.
Yeah. No. Dead serious. Yeah. Yeah.
My thumbnails are ass. Is that it?
No. No, I mean, like, Shelf, you have this, like, I don't know, you have this, like, very relatable, like, tone and, like, style of, like, speaking. And I think, like, yeah, I mean, like, why watch all your vlogs, you know? Like, I text you sometimes when I, watch them, but, like, it's, I don't know, I feel like the way you speak now is the way you speak in your vlogs.
I feel like I'm hanging out with you when I'm watching your vlog, like I am right now.
Okay.
That's why I like
That
it.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And so,
The streaming part, it sounds really stupid, but you kind of you gotta be good at two things. You gotta be good at rambling, and you gotta be good at talking to yourself.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Just do.
There's a lot of there's a lot of moving pieces to manage in the stream when you get going. From like managing and helping moderate a chat, keeping them good, being yourself, and like putting out good content
Yeah.
itself, and just like I said, keeping the conversation going. There's so many moving pieces with that. It could become crazy at points.
I'll say going back, though, where's that comment at?
So lash me out and I say that, but a lot of times I'll try to body bag somebody on Twitter.
You see how it's.
Don't let it.
It might
Just
get-
don't let it bottle up.
might
Just
get-
kind of use it as a driving force, and just use it to keep going. And you like if you like what you do, just keep doing it because nothing you do, like you don't have to. You're the one that has to be happy. They don't have to do anything, So don't worry about them.
And something else I've learned over the last few years, successful people above you aren't the ones making fun of you.
Yeah,
They're not the ones digging at you or pulling the
Yep.
rug out from under your feet. This is just not how it works.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, stream is back. Apparently, we got McDonald's Wi-Fi here.
McDonald's. That's such an MLB comment.
It is.
Playing Madden, bro. Like I never heard that.
Yeah.
MLB 19.
The
The
McDonald's
first thing somebody was
Wi-Fi.
like, he must be on McDonald's Wi-Fi, and I was like.